This is Arlene again with another one of my lace adventures. This is a shawl that I made many years ago. When I first started learning how to do bobbin lace about 33 years ago in Bartlesville, my mother came to me one day and she said, "If you really want to do a special project, I would love a shawl." And I said to her, "Okay, what colors would you like it in?" She says, "Lavenders and or blues." And I said, "Okay, how big do you want it to be?" She said, "So where it would be comfortable around my shoulders and down my back, and it would not fall off easily." And I said, "Okay, that sounds interesting. Let me think about this." So I set out to design this shawl. Now, I'd only made a couple of small pieces up until this point of bobbin lace, and I really needed to acquire some larger bobbins than the ones that I had, which, fortunately, back in those times, there was lots of bobbins that were coming out that were for the, fabric industry, where they were large and you could put lots of yarn on them. And I said, okay, so I got enough bobbins to do this project. And lo and behold, I didn't have a pillow large enough. I didn't even know how to make a pillow large enough. So thinking outside of the box, we had just made a bed for our son, and I used his mattress as the pillow to make this piece of bobbin lace shawl. And the fun part about it was at the same time, I was part of an organization that was doing living history events for like Woolarock and for the Mozart, and we would go to the schools and we'd do demonstrations. There was a gentleman who did tin work and copper work, and another lady who did spinning, and another gentleman who did flint knapping, and I was the lace maker. And we all went in costume. Now, can you imagine third and fourth grade year and second graders and even first graders coming into the library and seeing somebody working on one of their fellow students' mattresses? It was quite the hoot. So here is the front of this beautiful piece of lace. And as we go around, you can zoom into it more closely and you can see how I designed it so that it was quite large. You can see the background. And you can see a little bit of the design that is coming down the front. And over here on this side, you can see a little bit more of the leaves that come down the front of this. And this yarn that I used for this project is a mix of mohair and silk. And it was all hand dyed. And I believe there was also some maybe merino in it, or some lamb's wool. I'm not really sure now. It's been so many years. But anyway, this is the design that goes down the back of it. And I will reposition myself so that you can get a better view of it. This is the back of the scarf, or the shawl. And it's leaves and a big flower-like structure in the middle of it. I used a number of stitches, like the cloth stitch, the whole stitch, and even the half stitch to create this piece of lace. This is an original design that I did on paper, and then I taped it to my son's mattress and got to work with it. I have pictures somewheres in an album somewheres, but I can't tell you where those are right now, of me in my costume working on this with kids all around. But we'll look a little bit closer at some of the detail. And then how it is beautiful up around the neckline. As it stands up like that. You've probably gotten a feeling by now that I do not do small projects. I do very big projects. And every one of them is individual and unique. And I also don't use your standard threads or yarns. I try to play with fiber. I really enjoy playing with fiber and seeing how it reacts to the various kinds of lace that I'm creating. This was a pleasure, and my mother loved it, and she wore it to very special occasions. I think she even took it on one of her cruises. I don't remember which one, but I'm sure she enjoyed it, and she probably had lots and lots of compliments.